Welcome back to Maths Made Easy. In our today's video, we are going to learn about ratio and proportion. Yes, it's chapter 4, standard 9th. Let's start. Alright students, now in order to understand ratio proportion, we need to understand some of the properties related to this chapter. Now, they are invertendo. What is invertendo? In invertendo, we see, suppose if they have given you two equal ratios like A upon B is equal to C upon D. Then as per using this invertendo property, all we get here is B upon A is equal to D upon C. Similarly, the next property, which is alternando. Alternando states that if the ratio A upon B is equal to C upon D is given to us, then when we exchange these alternate places, A upon C becomes equal to B upon D. Okay, let's look at the next property, which is componendo. Now what's componendo? In this property, we are going to see that when the ratio A upon B is equal to C upon D, by using this property we can say that A plus the denominator B upon B is equal to C plus the denominator D upon D. Similarly, we have dividendo. Now here in this property we can see that when A upon B is given equal to C upon D, I can say that A minus B upon B is equal to C minus D upon D. When we use both the properties componendo and dividendo together, if I use both these properties together, I can say that a ratio which is A upon B equal to C upon D, by using the property componendo dividendo together, then we can say A plus B upon A minus B is equal to C plus D upon C minus D. Now let's see how we solve sums using all these properties. Okay, so here we go with practice set 4.3, where our first question is A upon B is equal to 7 upon 3. We have to find the values of these two given ratios. Okay, now in order to do this, we have to always assume the common multiple of this given ratio first as M. You can assume any letter leaving A and B, because A and B letters are already there in the ratio. So just avoid A and B and you can assume any other letter. So if I assume letter X over here, then what will be the values of A and B? So first I will be writing, let the common multiple of given ratio be equal to M. You can take M now. Okay, so the value of A will become 7M and that of B will become 3M. So coming back to the question, the question is 5A plus 3B upon 5A minus 3B. So if I have to find the value of this ratio, what I'll have to do here? I will just have to substitute in place of A, I will be substituting 7M, and in place of B I will be substituting 3M. Simple. So let's just do that. In place of A, so that means 5 multiplied by 7M, bracket close, plus 3B, there I will be multiplying 3M. Again I have got 5, 7M minus 3, 3M. Let's just start solving this. Just simplify. Wherever you see multiplication between the two terms, just multiply. Wherever you see plus sign, we have to add. So 5 sevens are 35M plus 3 3s are 9M. Same thing we have got here down, 35M, but minus sign is there, so put minus 9M. So what will be the answer of 35 plus 9? As these are like terms, both are mm. So like terms can be added. If you add them, 35 plus 9, what is the answer? The answer is 43m. Okay? Upon, sorry, it's 44m upon 35 minus 9 is 26m. Now, what do you think, students? Can we reduce it? Yes, of course we can reduce it, because the last digit here is 4 and 6. So we can simply reduce it. First we'll cancel m. Then we have got over here 2 ones are, 2 threes are, 2 twos are and 2 twos are. So my final answer, you always have to highlight your final answer. So my final answer over here is 5a plus 3b upon 5a minus 3b is nothing else but 22 upon 13. That's it. So this is how we solve the sums. Okay? Let's have a look at the second question now. In our second question, we have to find 2a square plus 3b square upon 2a square minus 3b square. Now here, again in place of a, I am going to substitute the value for a, which is 7m. But as you can see, a square is over there in the index. So I have to get that square as it is over here. Plus 3m the whole square. The whole upon 2, 7m the whole square minus 3m the whole square. So all we get is 2. 7 square is 49. M square is m square plus 3 square is 9, m square is m square. Square of m is m square. 2 into, same thing we have to repeat here down, plus 3 into 9m square. So 2 into 49 is 98m square plus 27m square the whole upon 98m square minus 27m square. So if you add 98 and 27, our answer is coming back to question number 2 of the same exercise. Here they have already given us a ratio without giving the value of ratio a upon b. Now what we need to do over here is, first we'll simplify this given ratio and we'll try to simplify it and get to a smallest possible answer of the ratio a upon b. And for doing so, we will have to use our property componendo dividendo, about which I have already told you. Okay, so let's start with componendo dividendo. What I'll be doing here is, I'll just simply say, by using componendo dividendo, on both sides. So when I am using this property, first thing I have to do is, I will be writing this numerator twice, up and down. I put a plus sign and a minus sign. Once I do that, what I'll be doing next is, I will be writing this denominator once up, 15a square minus 4b square and 15a square minus 4b square twice. Same thing I have to repeat on the other side. Here as well I will be writing 47 twice. Then I'll be doing plus 7 and minus 7. Now the next thing I'll do is, I'll get all like terms together. Suppose if I get 15a square and 15a square together, 15a square plus 15a square. Next is plus 4b square minus 4b square upon 15a square minus 15a square plus 4b square. Minus and minus, students, it always changes the sign. The sign, minus sign outside the bracket, will always change the sign inside the bracket. That is the reason why this plus 15a square became minus 15a square. minus into minus, this will become plus 4b square is equal to 47 plus 7 is 54 and 47 minus 7 is 40. 4b square will get cancelled. 15a square will get cancelled. The reason why we are cancelling this is because like terms with same terms with opposite signs are always subtracted. So that's why we have subtracted 4b square, 15a square. Now the sum of 15 and 15 is 30a square upon 8b square. Whereas this will be 54 upon 40. Here a square upon b square. Right now we are just copying it down. 54 upon 40 also we have copied it down. Then what we do with this 30 and 8, we'll have to bring 30 upon 8 on the other side of equal to sign. But when you bring that ratio on the other side, we'll have to write its reciprocal. So it's 8 upon 30. So now 6 9s are and 6 5s are 30. 8 1s are, 8 5s are 40. So the final answer over here is a square upon b square is equal to 9 upon 25. Taking square root on both sides, we get a upon b is equal to 3 upon 5. So we got the value of a upon b. Then the remaining parts of this question can be solved just like the first previous question, question number 1 which I showed you. You'll have to assume the common multiple as m. Substitute wherever in the ratio you see the values of a and b. There you are going to substitute the values, and that's how we get the final answer. Okay. So I hope remaining questions will be easier for you all to solve looking at the question number 1 which I have already shown. Okay. Now let's have a look at question number 4, the first one over here. As you can see here, they have given a quadratic equation in the numerator and the denominator is a binomial. What I need to do is, I'll have to simplify it in such a manner that my denominator matches with at least 2 of the terms of our numerator. And if these terms match, it's quite easy to use either of the properties like componendo or dividendo. Okay. So my first focus has to be on how do I equalize my denominator with the numerator. Okay. You don't have to completely match the denominator and numerator, but you have to see at least some of the terms get equalizes. Okay, let's start. So here, what am I supposed to do here? If you pay attention at 3 and 5 as well as 12 and 20. 12, 3, 5, 20, they all share a common multiple. And what's that common multiple? It's 4. If I multiply 3 with 4, I get 12. Similarly, if I multiply 5 with 4, I get 20. Coming on the other side, 2 and 8 also share a common multiple 4. 3 and 12 share a common multiple 4. So all I have to do over here now is multiplying on both sides by 1 upon 4. So what is it that I get if I multiply both the ratios by 1 upon 4? X square plus 12x minus 20 upon 3x minus 5. This I will multiply with 1 upon 4. Similarly on the other side, x square plus 8x plus 12 upon 2x plus 3. This will also get multiplied by 1 upon 4. 4 multiplies with the denominator, nothing will change in the numerator. Numerator will remain as it is, x square plus 12x minus 20, the whole upon 12x minus 20 is equal to x square plus 8x plus 12 and the whole upon 8x plus 12, because 2 4s are 8 and 3 4s are 12. As you can see here in the denominator, we already got a term which matches with our numerator. Okay. So what's it? 12x, 12x, 20, 20. But they are same terms and same signs. So what am I supposed to do if they are same terms and same sign? Now whenever we have anything in the numerator and denominator with same sum, same sign, we need to see that they have to get cancelled in order to get reduced and all. And cancellation is possible in which property? Then it's dividendo. So here I am going to say by using dividendo on both sides. So when I am using dividendo property, you all know that my numerator, first I need to copy, then minus, I will subtract this 12x minus 20 from the numerator, and denominator I will copy down as it is, 12x minus 20, it will not change. Same thing I have to repeat on the other side. I will be writing x square plus 8x plus 12 and then minus 8x plus 12, the whole upon 8x plus 12. So let's just open the bracket and solve. X square plus 12x, like terms together, minus 12x minus 20 plus 20, the whole upon 12x minus 20 is equal to x square plus 8x minus 8x plus 12 minus 12, the whole upon 8x plus 12. Okay, what we can do over here is 12x and 12x can get subtracted, 20 and 20 will also get subtracted. Similarly here 8x, 8x, 12, 12. So all we are left with over here is x square upon 12x minus 20 is equal to x square upon 8x plus 12. Okay, so what have we done? We have first multiplied the whole terms, both the ratios, by 1 upon 4. Then we have used the property dividendo on both sides. I reduced it and I got this thing. Now here if you see, in this ratio both the numerators is having the term x square. So what I can do is, in this equation, if I take x is equal to 0, both our sides get 0. Means x is equal to 0 is a true value for this ratio. But other than 0, there has to be some other value which is supposed to be true for this ratio, which we need to find. So let's take x is equal to 0 is one value of given ratio, and dividing both sides by x square, we get, let's see what do we get. For that I'll have to, alright, now dividing on both sides by x square, what is it that I'll get? I will get 1 upon 12x minus 20 is equal to 1 upon 8x plus 12. The next thing I do is I cross multiply this ratio. So 1 into 8x plus 12, I'll be getting 8x plus 12 itself, and 1 multiplied by 12x minus 20, I'll be getting 12x minus 20 itself. Always bring the smaller number, smaller like term near the greater one. So 12x minus 8x is equal to, 12 remains there only, this minus 20 you bring closer to 12. So you get plus 20 here. So 12x minus 8x is 4x. 12 and 20 if I add, I get 32. So finally x is equal to 32 divided by 4. 4 ones are 4 eights are. So x is equal to 8. That's the value of x. This is how we solve. Here we go with our next question, question number 4, the second one, sub question 2. Alright, what we have to do in this question is same like we did in the first question. Here also we'll have to see how we get the reduced form of this given ratio, and we finally come back to the value of x. There are two ways in which we can do. One is alternando method. There is also another way, but I am going to show you how to solve the sum by alternando and then componendo dividendo method. Okay, so the first thing here I am going to use is by using alternando property using. Okay, so now if I use alternando property, 10x square plus 15x plus 63 will remain as it is, and this 2x plus 3 will come here as a denominator. Okay, what we do next over here is this denominator goes there up and becomes 5x square minus 25x plus 12 upon x minus 5 as it is. If you will pay attention to 2x plus 3 and 10x square 15x, they share a common multiple which is 5x. Same happens over here as well. So what I will be saying here is multiplying by 1 upon 5x on both sides. So 10x square plus 15x plus 63 will remain as it is. When I multiply by 5x here, 5 2s are 10x square I get and 3 5s are 15x I will be getting. Here also 5x square minus 25x plus 12 upon x. We have to multiply by 5x, then it will become 5x square minus 25x. So you can see we got the same terms here. Okay. Next thing what I do over here is I will be saying by using which property? Dividend. So if I use the property dividend here, 10x square plus 15x plus 63, from this I will have to separate 10x square plus 15x here as well. Okay. So same thing we do on the other side, that is 5x square minus 25x plus 12, and then you subtract 5x square minus 25x, the denominator. Okay, here you write down the denominator 10x square plus 15x. Here also you write down the denominator 5x square minus 25x. So after taking the like terms together, 10x square will get cancelled, 15x will get cancelled. All I am left with is 63 upon 10x square plus 15x, and here I will be left with, after cancelling everything, 12 upon 5x square minus 25x. 63 remains as it is. In 10x square and 15x, I can again take out the same 5x which I multiplied here earlier. I am going to take it out as common, and again I will go back to the same what fraction I had. Okay, here also 12 upon 5x comes out again common, and x minus 5 remains there. As you can see, 5x is the common thing on both sides. We can again multiply by 5x instead of multiplying by 1 upon 5x. Now I can say just multiplying by 5x and I can simply cancel it. Now what I am left with here is 63 upon 2x plus 3 is equal to 12 upon x minus 5. We simply cross multiply them. So I say 63 multiplied by x minus 5 is equal to 12 multiplied by 2x plus 3. Okay, 63x minus 3 5s are 15, 6 5s are 30 and 31. So we get 315 there. Okay, and 12 2s are 24x plus 12 3s are 36. Again, taking the like terms together, here I can write 63x minus 24x is equal to 36 plus 315. 63 minus 24 is how much, kids? It's 50. Sorry, 13 minus 4 is 9 and 5 minus 2 is 3. 39x is equal to, if you have to add it over here, 6 plus 5 is 1, 11, that is carry 1, 2, 3, 5 and I've got 3. So x is equal to 351 upon 39. Okay, so this 359 and 39, 351 and 39, it is divisible by 13's table. Okay, or you can simply divide it by 3's table. 3 1s are 3, 3's are 9, 3 1s are 3, 3 1s are 3, 3 7s are 21. Then again 13 1s and 13 9s are. So the value of x is 9. I know these sums are pretty lengthy one, but if you go through each and every step, you replay the whole video and go through each and every step which is shown here in the video, and I am very sure students you will get through this. Do not get scared of maths because maths is easy. And here in this video, we always try to make maths easy as it is maths made easy. So do like, share and subscribe the video if you really like it.